And welcome back, Moose family, to another edition of the FlanFan Show. Once again, your host, Jason Blaze, and we actually have a co-host today in there, and that's Fallen Warrior. How's it going, Fallen?
Doing pretty good. Just finished all my exams, got school done with, so I'm just going to enjoy this 1 month of Christmas break in the Moose media.
Yeah, I believe you have a shout-out that you want to give out there on behalf of somebody.
Yeah. Captain McGinley wants to give a shout-out to Jerome McGinley and the Bayside Tigers.
Yeah, that was a few seasons ago, that's for sure. Anyways, we got tons of business for you. We got a few fire sales to talk about, some MHL player rights exchanged, and of course, some season Week 2 action in the Moose here from Wednesday night here. Where do you want to begin?
I say we cover the trades first.
Okay. Like I said, it was a fire sale on behalf of Captain Funbags. Funbags receives Crazy Jigs from Saints team there for Bikemba. Now, Bikemba's always a great pick up there. He's been pretty beasting it out there for Funbags team there. I'm really surprised that this trade actually, happened here. Funbags has a solid team. I have no idea why he's trading one of his best wingers there, but Saint definitely needed this trade. Fallen?
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. Saint needed the offense, and Funbags, he had too much offense to have there, so it was a pretty decent trade for them both. Funbags receiving Crazy Jigs, he's a diesel defenseman that I've been able to play with a couple seasons ago for a couple games. But I've been playing with Bikemba a little bit, and I think Saint got the better end of this deal.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you there. Funbags there, he had a falling out with one of his defensemen, the Wallace there, which we'll talk about a little bit later. It is what it is. He picked up Crazy Jigs here, and he's hoping to fill out that void that he created a little later on here. Again, on with the fire sale, Funbags trades Tip City dude there for IMG Nash, another defenseman for a forward there. And again, Funbags is trading forwards for defense here. BD Smith definitely came out with the steal with Tip City dude. And, it's going to be curious as to what happens when these two teams have their next series there. Fallen?
I'm going to agree with you. BD Smith got the better end of this deal. G Nash, he's an all right player, but Tipsy dude, he's been a couple of scouting games with myself and a couple other captains, and he's just been producing all the points.
Yeah, and maybe not so much on that diesel line that Funbags had here, but he's still a decent enough forward to get some recognition there. Shout out to Tip City dude here for having a great season so far, and good luck on BD Smith's team. And again, with the last trade of the bonfire that happened on Lambda there, and Funbags, I think he won this trade here. He received Scotty Main, and in return he trades Dr. Ranish and the Wallace. I believe Ranish is a forward. I'm not too sure about this guy. But Wallace, he's a diesel defenseman there. We mentioned him a little bit earlier, a few seconds ago, actually. And, again, Funbags and Wallace had a falling out. I believe these guys were doing diesel. They may have lost one series there. And I think Funbags is pushing the panic button too early here. I don't know what he's doing. He's trading all his good forwards for some average to mediocre defense there. What do you guys say about this?
I'm honestly going to say Funbags got a good deal right here. According to my sources on Lowen's team, Scotty Main's going to want to play He's going to want to play full time, but Lowen has too many good players to be sitting out. So he's going to have to ruin the line of USSR Sniper, and two other people. He's just going to be ruining that line that got them that sweep, that one series a couple of days ago. So with this trade from Funbags receiving Scotty Main, I think it's a good deal for both teams because Lowen does have Rocco that can play any position there. So, but still, I'm going to have to say Funbags got the better end because Scotty Main's just a diesel forward.
Overall, with these three trades there, how do you think Funbags did with this compared to the other three captains?
Well, I'm going to think Funbags did all right. He didn't do the greatest, but the two picking up Crazy Jigs and Scotty Main, that's really going to help his team out.
Yeah. It's a switch to the defense there. Speaking of switching at the defense here, Joe Stowe receives Joe 9692 and Zebra Tango off of Damage Incorporated with Colinelli. And Damage Incorporated picks up Dana White and Matty Bissell. Now, I don't know too much about Matty Bissell, but Dana White there, sure, he came into the season cockier than ever there. But Colinelli's, he believes he can back it up there. And, again, there's some internal problems with Joe. And, I think Zebra just got caught in the crossfire here in this trade. What do you think, Folan?
No, I said in another radio show before this, I said Colinelli has to shake up the locker room. And by making a second trade, because the first trade was Agent Jack Bauer for Chaos Samurai, now trading Joe 9692 and Zebra Tango for Dana White and Matty Bissell. As you said, I don't know too much about Matty Bissell, but Dana White, he is a good defenseman. He did come into the season cocky, but with Colinelli's team, I think he's going to be able to help this team push themselves to the playoff spot.
Now, what's curious, I don't want to toot my own horn here, but with the influx of the new goalie and the solid forward line we already have there, where do you think Colinelli's going to stick Jason Blaze here?
Oh, poor Jason Blaze. I think he's going to be putting you on defense and a little bit of forward as well.
Well, I can't play defense. Just a reminder, I refuse it.
Not defense. I meant goaltending and forward.
That's good. That's good there. Anyways, like I mentioned earlier at the beginning of the show there was a MHL rights swap. I may not have mentioned it to you guys. My bad on that one. But I believe Duke gets Corpsicle's rights, who I believe is on D-Mitch's team there, in exchange for the Wallace's rights, who just got traded to Low End Theory's team there. What do you think this is going to impact the most? Do you think any of these guys have any chance of getting called up? Is that why the trade was done? Or do you think the MAHL captains are going to be safe for this one?
No, it's kind of hard to say, but you can't really tell the future if one of these guys is going to be getting called up. But if one of them were to be getting called up, I would probably say the Wallace 5 would be the most likely to get called up. Corpscle, he's a good guy and all, but I don't think he's just MHL material at this time period. So yeah, I'm gonna have to disagree there. I think both players have a chance of being called up. Wallace, again, he had that argument with Funbags or whatever in the locker room there. No one knows what happens except for the Lambda team and Funbags. But, it is what it is. Those guys' rights got traded. We'll see if there's any call-ups happen there. We'll keep you tuned, Moose family. Anyways, let's get down to the series here. You got any thing to say before we go? No, let's get this thing rolling.
All right. I believe we were supposed to have 3 series last night. 1 got rescheduled, and that was We Killed Kenny versus Noose on Mice. B.D. Smith and KO, they both rescheduled that game. We don't know the date that they're going to reschedule it to, but, good luck to whoever wins there. Let's move on to the ones that actually happened. Okay, Dharma Initiative. Sorry to laugh at you, Saint, here, but you got destroyed. Dharma Initiative won the series. First game 9-1. Second game 10-0. Third game 11-1. They got outscored 30-2. It's what it is. This is totally fucked. I've never seen a team lost this bad. What do you guys say about this, Fallen?
Well, I think Saints got to make some more trades. If he's only putting up two goals in an entire series, then something's wrong there, and something has to happen. But as for Joe Stowe's team, we'll see. We'll have to see how this new trade affects him. But 9-1, 10-0. Those are just two. That's too many goals being scored there. I think Saint has to do something with his goaltending offense.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree, and hopefully those trades they help him out there.
Wasn't there a series that was like 16-3 or something?
I believe that was yesterday, actually. 2 days ago that happened, but again, I think they had a waiver in there. I believe I saw Giant 918 playing with them. I can't confirm that. But, yeah, even if Giant was playing there, his help didn't matter. This team just needs to brutally be fixed. And the only way to do that is start a fire sale like Funbags did there. And let's hope that fire sale doesn't fuck Funbags in the ass. So speaking of Funbags here, he had a series there against Tony Soprano's team there. Lambda taking the first game 6-5 against Miss McGill's Tea Party, winning the second game 5-3, and then Tea Party comes back and wins the third game 4-2. Again, this was before the fire sale happened. Don't know exactly how this team's gonna look the next series here, but right now with the team they had before they traded, they look pretty solid there. So was it premature before when Funbags lost the series to the start of fire sale? Or
no, I can't honestly tell you why Funbags is making this fire sale, but let's just all hope it's for the best and he has a great season. But another team that's going to have to start a fire sale soon is Tony Soprano. They're struggling. I think they only won at least like one series. I don't even know if they won a series yet. But if they were able to keep this a close game against Funbags as a team, and Tony Soprano needs to make a trade there. He needs to spark up the locker room somehow. He needs to get this team back on the wheels so they can drive up that rocky hill and get to the top and hopefully make a playoff spot, because it is still early in the season and every team still has a chance to make the playoff spot. Please?
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree. Maybe not King of the 412's team there. Who knows? They only got one win so far, and we're almost done the second week here.
Hey, miracles on ice.
I don't see there's going to be a miracle here. I was actually talking to some of Tony Soprano's teammates there. They have literally no confidence on his defensive side.
Okay, now that's not. You have to have confidence to enable to make the playoffs. Like, if you don't have confidence, then you're just going to drag the whole team down. That's just wrong.
They don't have confidence on Tony Soprano's defensive skills. I believe they only won 2 games, just like Damage Incorporated there that we talked about earlier. And apparently both games, Tony sat himself. So every game Tony's played, they lost. But every game that he sat himself, they've won.
Maybe Tony could be the problem. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe Tony's got to trade himself. Just there, Tony. But anyways, yeah, I believe he's playing defense there. I thought he was a forward there. Is he stepping back for the season, or what's all this about?
I really don't know. I thought he was a forward all the time, because I've actually played with him a lot, and I have not seen him play defense once. So we'll see if he's going to be making a trade for a defenseman in the near future. Yeah.
Like I said there, the third series there was rescheduled. So I guess let's go over some predictions here real quick. Talk about some serious business and all. and then we'll have our break here. But anyways, Miss McGill's Tea Party taking on the Devil's Rejects here. Two struggling teams. Who's gonna win it? Well,
I'm gonna have to say I'm gonna say Devil Rejects are gonna take 2 out of the 3. It's gonna be a close series, but Rejects are gonna come out, and I say I say at least 2 games are gonna end in overtime.
Yeah, and it all goes down. I heard Hugh Laurie's actually gonna play this series there, so that might also impact. And if Newf can show up tonight, then again that will also impact here. It's just a matter of if people can show up. Again, if Newf shows up and if Hugh Laurie shows up, I do agree it's going to be overtime. If one of them doesn't play this series here, then it's going to be a walk in the park for the other team.
Yeah.
All right, next series here, a strong, dominant team against a uprising team here. We have Low End Theory's Walk of Shame taking on the Sesame Street Nightmare, which is Spoilers' team there. And Spoilers been turning heads there. They've been getting some victories here and there. And again, Walk of Shame's been dominating. And Walk of Shame just renovated their defense there. So will that impact this series at all, or do you think they're just going to be too dominant for Spoilers' team?
Low End Theory's team's going to be too dominant for the Little Joels. So I think Low End's going to sweep the series just because his team's been showing it all season so far. Like, they're 9-3. They only have 3 losses. I think they're going to sweep this, get those 6 points, and they're not even going to take this series that serious.
Okay. Well, they better, because Spoiler is no walk in the park here, I think it's going to be 2-1 for Spoiler's team, actually. Sorry to say that, my co-host Low End Theory there, but I still think Spoiler's going to kick your butt 2-1 in this series there.
Okay. Like Low End said on one radio show where you started jabbing me at the beginning, he's got my back, I've got his.
Now, regarding last night's series there for Low End's team there, didn't he have any comments about that? I believe he traded 2 guys to the team he faced and he hammered them.
I believe so. I think it was. I think he traded Newf, and apparently Newf and Yeti played. So.
Yeah, that's a case of the old captain chirping their old players there. Anyways, move on. The Raging Fornicators taking on We Killed Kenny here. A semi-struggling team here who made some drastic changes there for, IMG Nash for Tip City dude there. We can see what happens here, but, I still think the Raging Fornicators are still strong. And I believe they're number 1 in the AHL right now. And I think they're going to be dominating We Killed Kenny there. Fallen?
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. Raging Fornicators, I think they're gonna take 2 out of the 3 in this series. Raging Fornicators, they've been showing it all season. Me and you actually happened to play against them last week. I can't totally remember.
Actually.
But Raging Fornicators, I don't know why, but at the beginning of the season, I think everyone doubted them, saying that they weren't going to win because him and his 11-man roster, because he had hardly anyone who's played in the Moose before. He's got all new guys, and these new guys are starting to show themselves. So if they can win the Antler Cup, then that would mean a lot to Cloudy Days, picking up all those newly drafted players.
Yeah, and I talked to a few captains before the season also. They also said Cloudy was one of the people that scouted the most, actually. So all this scouting that he did there, it really benefited his team there.
Yeah.
All right, last series of the night here. It's the juicy one that you've been thinking about there, Fallen. It's Damage Incorporated versus the Two-Line Tweakers. What do you think's gonna happen?
Both teams on a struggle. I'm gonna have to say Damage Incorporated wins 2-1. Now from my sources, I'm gonna be called up, so I won't be there for mostly game 2 and 3. So I don't know. I'm still gonna go with my team, Damage Incorporated, to win. Please.
Yeah, I believe there was a player off of Damage Incorporated that was chirping D-Mitch there, and maybe D-Mitch can give us a comment on that if he were to call in there. Maybe Colinelli's listening. Maybe he wants to talk about this series here. But
hint.
with that trade that happened for the new goalie and the new defenseman there, do you think that's really going to impact this series here? Or do you think Damage Incorporated is going to look that much better?
You know what? The problem is that no one wants to get on in time enough to practice for the games, and not all of us have played with each other. So with the new guys that we just recently got, we're going to have to go and practice right away so we can get chemistry going and we can go out there and take the series with D-Mitch.
Now, I was talking to D-Mitch before also, and he mentioned that his new offensive line that he's going to have out there, including Agent Jack Bauer, who, by the way, just got his Legend 3, he added. He said that line is undefeated in club games, OTP, and I don't know about the Moose here, but he says it's undefeated. Do you think that's going to be a problem?
Nah, because we know how to take them on. We know what to do with Agent Jack Bauer. Remember, he got traded from our team, so it's just going to be easy. Just block the shooting lanes. That's all I got to say.
Do you think it's going to be fair to call this the Battle of Chaos Samurai versus Jack Bauer?
No, I think it's fair. But honestly, Chaos Samurai, he's been playing a couple of games with us. He's an awesome centerman. I think he's one of the best centermen in the AHL as of right now. So it's gonna be a close series, but Damage Incorp comes out 2-1.
Yeah. Before we go to the MHL portion there, I'd like to give a shout out to Jim Flanagan with the top 10 highlights there, and the people that are helping Jim Flanagan there. I believe Fallen Warrior, you're one of them. What do you guys have to do behind the scenes there?
For the top 10, tell you the truth, if people think it's not a lot of work, it actually is, because you should see the list that we have to go on for EA Sports World and get the clips that you guys submit, and we just have to upload it to YouTube. So by uploading that to YouTube, we're not having much time to play Xbox, like NHL and stuff like that, because it will slow the internet down and we won't get good games. So it takes a lot. It takes a lot of time. So the best time to do that stuff is probably around morning, nighttime, when you're just getting up or going to sleep.
Yeah, I also want to give a shout out to Giant there. He's been he's been out for personal reasons here, and now he's just trying to catch up in his personal life. He probably will be back this next week there, hopefully. Shout out to Giant for all the stuff he's done for the Moose Media and all that stuff. Shout out to Kuzi there. Without him, the site is not possible, and without the site, I don't think there's really much of a league here. I'm not just saying the league's nothing without the site, but I'm just saying it brings a lot of people here. Shout out to Kuzi. Shout out to Legion for flashing his nipple in that video there. That's something I'll never forget.
It's stuck in my mind forever.
You hear folks there. Fallen Warrior wants to suck on Legion's nipple like a baby. You know, it is what it is. We're going to go for about a 5-minute break here. We'll be back for the MHL portion. Stay tuned. MHL business coming your way. Welcome back, Moose family, to the MHL version of the FlanFan show. Again, your host here, Jason Blaze, alongside Fallen Warrior. Fallen, you still here?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Now, how an appropriate song to mediate to the MHL, considering when all captains draft their teams there, they want it all, and they want it right now.
Please don't
I can't sing it, but good.
Don't start singing. You'll make all our viewers go deaf.
That's something Goofy would say there. Anyways, yeah, some serious business there. There's one trade for the MHL, and it's rights guys, like we talked about in the MHL part there. It's Duke gets Corpsicle and Drift King gets the Wallace here. Does it impact both teams, or what do you think there?
Not of right now. It's not going to impact any teams, but I think they made that trade just so they have those guys in the near future if they're needed.
Okay, if say they would both get called up, who do you think these captains would send down?
Oh, that's hard to say. Let me just pull up the rosters here. See.
I want it all. Just.
Oh God. So it was Duke, right?
Duke gets Corpsicle, so who do you think he'll send down?
I would say he sends down Sir Snipe-A-Lot.
Sir Snipe-A-Lot, they're goalie.
No, not Sir Snipe-A-Lot. Chunky Feces.
Chunky Feces? Do you think Chunky Feces would go down?
Well, it's either him or Daly, and I don't think Daly would go down.
Maybe it could have been a forward they send down. Is there any chance of that?
They could send down Agent J, but they could send down Agent J or Sacred Silence.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any chance those guys are going to go down. Anyways, for the Wallace, who do you think they're going to send down?
For the Wallace, well, definitely someone on defense, because that's what Drift King's team is kind of struggling on. I know they're top in their division, but they don't have the greatest team out there. But I would have to say Derrickner.
Derek GNR.
Yeah.
A fellow MAHLer until last season when he got called up for Fallen Warrior himself there, sent down to the Camel Toe Draggers. Anyways, let's get down to the series here. There's only 2 series. Syndrome of the Down taking on Lay Tabernac. And, the series here already looks like Sobe, IR Fierce has his 3rd shutout in 2 series. This guy's red hot. Syndrome of the Down takes the first game 4-2. And then they go on to lose the series here. Second game 4-0. And they lost the third game 9-2 here. What do you think happened in the third game here for the total meltdown of Syndrome of the Down?
Syndrome of the Down. So we're still talking about I Fears and Ed the Pimp, right?
I Fears versus Legion's team.
The series?
The series that happened last.
Oh, sorry, I was looking at the wrong date. It's hard to say. Legion just making that trade, I don't think it helped his team a little bit, because I know Kuzi and Selig, they're both good players, especially Kuzi. But I Fears is just a strong goaltender, and he's red hot right now, like you said, and it's going to be tough to beat him.
Do you think Andrzej Ski had a whole lot to say about this series here?
Uh, who knows? Maybe he can call and tell us what he thinks.
Well, last night there in the third game there, NJ Ski I think was the real difference maker there. Tackle dummy not so hot that game, 55 save percentage there. They forgot to put the goals allowed Legion, fix that ASAP, because apparently he has a 0 goals against average that game when he led 9 goals. And, the guy that had the difference maker was the real NJ Ski, who had 6 goals, 2 assists, 8 points on 11 shots. Again, NJ Ski also fought. Do you really think he impacted this series so much, or was it I Fears himself?
No, I think it was both of them, but in Game 2, I think it was definitely I Fears coming out, that big, strong shutout, and then Game 3, it had to be both of them, Sobe and NJ Ski, both playing really solid and pulling out that 9-2 victory.
All right. And last series of last night happened was the Serious Business Cats, which is JJDM's team, taking on Relax and Take Notes, who is Taz's team. And it wasn't even close. 6-5 Cats. 6-3, sorry, Cats. 5-0 Cats. And 6-1 Cats. With the recent trade there for Shadow Demon for Taz there, do you think he's going to panic and call up Chaos Samurai and send down Shadow?
No, I don't think he has to push the panic button right exactly now. The trade did go through a couple days ago, so they have to give it time to get chemistry, but I think Shadow Demon, Taz, and Wade 1589 would be a solid forward line. But even with Ice Cream Truck on defense, my previous captain in the MAHL 2 seasons ago played phenomenal. Him and all juiced up. I think they have a good team, but for me, what really stood out this series was the battle of the brothers, Lefty Clayton versus Tired Tons of Clay.
And obviously, their Tired Tons won the series here.
With a shutout.
With a shutout, yeah. So do you think there's going to be any bickering among brothers? Because I believe they live in the same house.
Well, I would hate to be in that house when they both meet again, but I think, again, I say this every radio show, every time we talk about JJDM's team. His team is phenomenal. I'm still a fan of his team, and I think they're going to win the cup.
Now, you know a little bit about sibling rivalry there, considering that you and your brother are usual Moose, high scorers. You in the AHL, your brother in the MHL. Unfortunately, not this season because your brother's suspension here. But do you think there's going to be a bit of a sibling rivalry, or do you think they're just having fun?
No, there will be a rivalry deep down below, but at the end of the day, they're still going to love each other for the brothers they are. Wish I could say the same.
That's it, folks. Fallen Warrior just went gay on us. Just kidding, guys. Just kidding. Anyways, let's go over our predictions for tomorrow there. Well, tonight, actually, sorry about that. We have a 2-game series on top of 2 other series here. So, 2 2/3 series tonight. Charlie Brown Christmas taking on the Gratuitous Amount of Energy.
Are they making up a remake game from probably the days that
Well, they have 2 games tonight there. It's Drift King versus Jay Zamorsky. And with the rights trade there, do you think those players are going to see any? Do you think Wallace is going to see any game time for tonight, or?
It all depends on if the team can make it. If Drift King's team can make it, then unfortunately no. But I would like to see the Wallace in MHL action. But if Drift King's team can make it, then tough luck.
Yeah, and Who do you think's going to win this series?
Well, if you're going by the 5 games that are going to be played, I'm going to have to say Drift King.
Drift King. Actually, they're only playing 2 games tonight.
Oh, it shows 5. So they're only playing the first 2 games.
First 2 games of another series there, and then they come back for a 3-game series. Yes, you're right.
Yeah, so it's 5 games. So I'm gonna have to say Drift King comes out on top. Jay Zamorski, he good team, but remember these two did play with each other last season to win the Moose Cup. So I'm gonna say Drift King wins it 3 out of the 5. Please.
Who do you think's gonna make the most impact in this series?
Most likely Drift King with his solid forward lineup. I believe it's Lebunskis and Delta Luca. I believe that's his forward lineup.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think they're going to be the impact in this series against Jason Morski. And again, it's another Disney on Ice player going up against his former captain. So 2 Disney on Ice players going against the captain. We're gonna have to see how this turns out.
Okay, and after the 3rd game there, do you think after the 3rd game there, do you think there's going to be any fatigue issues, or maybe a player can't play all the games there? Do you think that's going to be an issue for the 4 or 5 games? Because I'm not sure if a team's ever played 5 games in one night in the NHL. Do you think this is the first?
I would expect them to play or start the series a little bit earlier, so you don't have to stay up that whole time from like 10 o'clock to like probably 1 o'clock in the morning, maybe 1:30. I would say they're going to start the game at 9 o'clock, get those 2 games in before the regular series is supposed to start, and then they're going to continue on until 12. I would say that's the best way to do it, but if they're going to do it from 10 o'clock to like 1:30, go ahead.
Do you think there's going to be any thumb injuries or anything after the 3rd game?
Probably, after the 3rd game. These players aren't trained enough to go play 5 games in one night, but we'll just have to see tomorrow and wait until tomorrow and see how this team turns out.
Yeah. After playing prolonged amounts of gaming there's always a increase of risk of injury there.
Let's hope the paramedics are at the game so they can fix those thumbs right on the spot. Get back out there.
Or we can always just bring Legion down there and he can just flash his nipple and people be like, I'm fine.
Back going into the dressing room.
Alright, and the last series, I guess, since that was a 5-game series here. Smoking that Herbe taking on moves like Yager. Again, this is the team, Yager's the team that won the first game before they had their own name. So, I guess that should be their slogan. Win the first game, then have a name. What do you think's going to happen tonight? Smoking that Herbe is going to win it, or does Yager move all around this team here and kick their ass?
Well, from my sources, apparently I'm going to be getting called up, like I said, in the MAHL portion when we covered Damage Incorporated's series tonight. Apparently I'm going to be called up, so we're just going to have to see how it goes. I know Ed the Pimp has been on a roll since he put the moves like Jagger. He's been able to move around the standings there, get some wins in there, but I say Fair takes 2 out of 3, please.
It is what it is. Now, since you've been called up last Tuesday and this Thursday, who you've been replacing there? Who hasn't been showing up?
Well, the first series that I I played up there was I was replacing Sergeant Carson. But apparently I'm going to be taking over Colleton's spot tonight. So, see how that turns out.
Wow. And, with Colleton, a big, nasty forward there out of this series here, I think the Yager's going to take you guys 2 out of the 3 here. Colleton's a nasty forward. He's got the dangles. He can definitely win games.
Please, let me remind you, Colleton is playing defense this season.
Yeah, but still, defense is defense there. Without players, like some defense can dangle, just like Dana White in the AHL there. And without those dangles there to get out of their zone, there's no setup in the offensive zone. I think this is going to screw this team over without Colleton.
I think we're just going to be fine. Colleton is going to be there for Game 3, so I think that's why I said 2 out of the 3 are going to go to M. Fair himself.
Nah, it's Yager that's going to win it there. Even though Fair's record's 6-1-3 compared to Yager's 2-4-3 there, I think Yager's actually going to win this series, and it's going to turn a lot of heads like Legion's team did a few series ago.
So he's going to have to show his nipple as well?
I don't know if the nipple power's going to work here, but maybe he can go sign a contract to his rival team there. Maybe that'll help. Again, like the real Yager there. Any shout-outs you got there, Flan?
To anyone on Yager?
Anybody, period.
Just to everyone who's playing tonight, hope you guys do good in the series.
Okay. Now, we actually have a caller on the air. Let's bring this caller in. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Who is this caller? Hello, caller?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
What's going on, man? I wanted to ask, did y'all do a game review on Saints Row the Third?
No, we do not. This is a 6v6 NHL 12 online league.
Oh man, wrong show, buddy.
Yeah.
We enjoy the callers that always call in for us.
You got any reviews on NHL 12?
It's getting too technical, man. I can't really control it.
Exactly what one of my friends said. He can't play NHL anymore because of default controls using the analog sticks.
Yeah.
Got any shout-outs to anything there?
Go Florida Panthers, man. I like the Panthers.
Oh, he's a Panthers fan.
Fallen Warrior, don't be bickering. Anyways, there, thank you for calling in. We'll mute your mic so you can continue to listen on to the show. Thanks for calling in again, like I said, and have a good night.
For sure. Y'all tune in on HME Radio on Blog Talk.
Okay. Well, okay.
That's for all you Saint Row fans out there that are in the Moose.
Yeah, I guess some advertising there. That's a little weird, but anyways, yeah, NHL 12 I think is a lot better than Saints Row the Third there. Moose is where it's at, not HME Radio. Although I've never tried it or listened to it.
Can't really judge it if you never listened to it, please.
Yeah, I know. But I've played Saints Row the Third, and it's not as great as NHL 12 there. Moose is where it's at.
Let's get back on NHL now.
FlanFan shows where it's at, guys. The number to call if you want to call in, 646-381-4907. That's the number to call. Don't forget to follow us at mooseonice.com. Also follow us at Twitter at mooseonice there. Any shout-outs in the chat box there, or any messages on G-Chat you got there, Fallen?
Chat box is silent. No one's in here.
Any G-Chat?
No, I don't even have my G-Chat on, so
Fail.
I know it's my fail.
Any random yellings from your brother?
No, I just wish him luck. He's writing his license test for security job.
Oh, I'm surprised he's not running around the house like a caveman with his hair pulled out, not being allowed on the moose for the season there.
Banging his head against the wall.
Yeah, hitting his head against the wall there. I guess that's all we got today, folks. We're going to cut the MHL portion a little bit unless we can get another caller here. But that's pretty much it today, folks. I'm your host, Jason Blaze, alongside Fallen Warrior. This has been the FlanFan Show. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow there. Hopefully we'll have some more co-hosts there. Again, Jason Blaze, Fallen Warrior, signing out.
Peace.
But now I got my name out there, man. I started chirping. I started doing scouting. I started talking to anybody that's anybody in this league, man. And look at me now. Everybody, I repeat, everybody knows who I am, man. I repeat, everybody.